Hi, I'm James Weston, and
I'm Mike Watson.
And we are New England Drone Works. And we want to welcome you to our show today. And today we've got quite a few things to cover.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go ahead and start on that right now. But one of the things that we really want to touch on real quick, because we do belong to a search and rescue group called MATSAR, which is Maine All-Terrain Search and Rescue. There are a few things that we want to go ahead and touch base on to our members and things like that. Plus, also, we'd like to recruit some people as well.
We're always looking for people.
Right. So I'm going to let Mike take that away. He's going to come up with training dates, the next meeting agenda, things like that. And
wow,
go for it.
I guess I'm busy.
Yes.
So anyway, we meet on the second Sunday of the month, and we meet here at the New England Drone Works office.
Right
here.
Right.
Yep. And our meeting agenda, well, I mean, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that will be up and coming. We do some work for the Kenduskeag Canoe Race, providing communications and support for that. There's also a couple other canoe races in Maine. We provide search and rescue of all-terrain vehicles, ATVs, boats, Jeeps, snowmobiles. We have a snowcat that we are working on right now to have ready for this time of year, which not a lot of snow out there, but the ground can be soft and it's multi-purpose. So we also have a Cub Scout camporee that we'll be assisting with. So we have a bunch of activities we'll be discussing and getting ready to do.
And what's we got some training dates coming up. Now, normally we do training on certain days of the month.
Well, normally it's the last Sunday of the month. The times do vary depending on what type of training we're going to do and where we're going to do it. So those are usually announced. Well, most of the time it's MATSAR. It's on Facebook, so you can look us up there. You can send us a message on there. If you're looking
not to be confused with the MATSAR up in Alaska.
There is another MATSAR in Alaska. It's fairly obvious which one's which. They're the cooler ones.
No, they're well, literally.
Right. But no, I mean, just by pure coincidence, we ended up with the same name on the opposite ends of the country. But we have an awful lot to offer as well, and lots of different things and training opportunities for those who want to.
Right, and so remember, if you're sending a message to MATSAR that you want to join them, make sure that's the MATSAR here in Bangor, Maine, and not the one in Alaska. So they expect you to be at the meetings there.
Yeah,
we're a little bit more flexible.
Well, no, we still like to have people at the meetings. Travel is less expensive if you join the right one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also in MATSAR, we are creating a viable drone search and rescue program.
Yep.
And we're coordinating with the State Warden Service and various other groups that are within the state to do so. Mm-hmm. And right now, I am the only licensed pilot for that. And we were looking for more people that want to get their Part 107 license. Mike is getting his Part 107 license up shortly here too, which brings us to another thing too, is that New England Drone Works is also going to be teaching school. So for anybody out there that wants to do something like this, who has a drone, has an interest in drones, and wanting to fly them commercially, well, we're going to be putting on a flight school here at New England Drone Works at 48 Liberty Drive here in Herman, Maine, just on the outskirts of Bangor, right down the street from the Family Fun Bowling Center and the Bangor Escape Rooms.
Yep.
Name drop.
I see how this is.
You see where it's going anyway.
Plug. We're going to bill him for that later.
Anyways, you can also find us on our Facebook website, which is New England Drone Works. Now, we're going to have all the information for that school that's going to be coming up. Remember, this is for the Part 107 license, where you can be able to fly legally drones commercially to make money from them. But once you do get your license, we are going to shamelessly recruit you to do search and rescue stuff. And we'll probably even shamelessly recruit you to probably work for New England Drone Works on an independent basis. But you'll have to talk to us about that when you do come to the school anyway. Mm-hmm. But tentatively the school is going to be starting right around March 1st. But look for that on the New England Drone Works Facebook page, and you can also go to the New England Drone Works website, www.neweenglanddroneworksllc.com, and you can find more information there as well. Coming up in our later shows, we're going to be talking about drones, the different types of drones that are out there, and we're even going to touch base on drones that aren't meant for commercial purposes, recreational drones and things like this. We know that we have people out there that fly, or even got drones for Christmas,
Right.
And want to know how to fly them. They even want to know why they didn't come back. I think we mentioned that on our show, but we're also, as a matter of fact, I think we're probably going to do that on our next show. So we're going to have like a variety of drones out here on the table to show you, and we're even going to probably do a test flight for you guys to show how controls work and things like this. So if you're curious about that and everything, and you want to know how that works, make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below. And you want to go ahead and leave any comments. If you even have a drone that you got for Christmas that you don't understand, you know what? By all means, leave the name of that drone right there in the comments down below. And we'll touch base on that particular drone if you want. Even we might even see if we can find one if it's a popular one. But Mike has a parrot.
Yeah, it's an old Parrot Mambo. It's probably a couple of years old, but it was a starter drone in the $200 class range. Fairly stable, easy to fly. There's a few out there now in that kind of same category. And it's a good starter one. It's not too expensive if you happen to lose it or crash it, but stable enough to fly and easy to control. Here a few years later, there's several on the market now that are very similar.
Right. So if you have any questions about the drone that you have, you can actually ask about it, and we'll touch base on that drone, and probably even shamelessly give you a plug on it.
Absolutely.
But also, this is not just for people who do recreational stuff as well. So if you even have a question about your drone as a commercial pilot or a commercial user, feel free to put your comment down below, and we will touch base on that on a importancy basis. I don't know if that's actually a word, importancy,
I don't think
but
that's a word.
If anybody remembers what a sniglet is, I just made up a sniglet, so that's
it's right there with me around to it. I got lots of those.
But also, be nice when you write stuff down the drones or the comment section down there. I mean, come on, we know that there are people out there that are trolls and everything, and we'll probably get rid of those comments and all this. But if you do have a legitimate question, please feel free to ask. One of the other things that we also wanted to touch base on is the what's going on in the news. And one of the things that has caught our eye came out last week and is driving us completely crazy. There was a story about a woman that was down in Gorham, Maine, that had claimed that she had been being chased by a drone. She even called the police. And I'm going to go ahead and read the story verbatim. And this is credit to you, Channel 13 WGME, who is on your side. But Gorham, Maine, Associated Press, a Maine woman who was harassed by a drone for 2 days says police told her they could do nothing about it. Mary Dunham says a drone tracked her in her car on Tuesday as she drove to a gas station, where she called the police and then to her home in Gorham. It followed her for 8 miles to her brother's house in Standish the following day. It was an unnerving experience, she said. The officer arrived and said, "Yeah, I see it. I don't know what to tell you, though. We can't do much," she said. Some states have laws that make it a crime to use drones for surveillance that violates a person's reasonable expectation of privacy, but Maine is not one of them, the Portland Herald Press reported. So there's a couple of holes in this story, and I'm sure that Mike can agree with this right here, is that most drones that you buy today, and they have to be commercial drones, because I know that the ones that you buy at Walmart or you get them off of Amazon that are not commercial drones are generally drones that have battery lives of less than 30 minutes. Now, when I say 30 minutes, that's from the time that you press the button on the drone, it starts up, to the time the drone or the battery runs out. So for a typical drone, it will fly for about 20 to 23 minutes before it starts wanting to go home. So here's my problem with this story right here. This woman says that this drone followed her for 8 miles to her brother's house in Standish.
It's a long flight.
It is a long flight.
I want one of those drones.
I do too.
Yeah.
And be honest with you, if a drone followed her from wherever she was, I'm assuming it's probably going to be from her house to a gas station where she called police. There was probably a little bit of time between the time she called the police and the police arrived.
Right.
And to me, if you're being followed by a drone, stay put where you are.
Right.
And watch the drone. Because
eventually it's going to want to land somewhere.
It's going to want to land.
And usually it's going to land next to the person who's flying.
Exactly. And if it doesn't, if it lands in an open field or whatever, you know what? Run out and grab it.
Yeah.
Bring it to us.
Yeah, right.
We want to look at it.
Well, it's probably the smart thing to do if at that point you want to call the police is at least stay with it, I guess, and then point it out and let them deal with it.
Exactly.
But at least, you probably don't want to take it because.
No, I was just joking about going again. Yeah. Please do not do that. I would stay with the drone. If anything, throw a blanket over it, or a jacket, or something like that to prevent the propellers from starting back up again.
Yep.
And then call the police at that point and let the police come down and handle it.
Sure.
But to be quite honest with you, there's so many holes in this particular story right here, and it kind of reminds me of all of the hype going on with the remote pilot identification system that the FAA has proposed to put into law.
Yep.
And along with that, in the drones out in Colorado that have been buzzing towns and things like this for
I don't think anybody's
hours
ever
on end.
confirmed that yet. There's been lots of speculation of whether or not it's even happened or if they're looking at lights in the distance. Or
that's just the deal.
Right.
You know, but the thing of it is that now that this new proposal has come out, now all of a sudden we're hearing all of these horror stories.
Oh yeah, everybody has a story too.
Yeah, and also on the Facebook page that aired this particular story about this woman in Gorham, in the comments section down below, people were talking about how, if they had a drone following them, they would just shoot it out of the sky and blah, blah, blah.
You probably don't want to do that.
Just to let you guys know that it is a federal offense to shoot any drone or any flying object out of the sky.
Yep.
And a lot of people say, well, if it's following me, I don't want it watching me, so I'm going to take care of it myself.
Right.
Well, that's not always the case. You can't determine whether or not a drone is following you, and if it is, have you done anything wrong lately? Because it could be the FBI following you. You never know. And if you shoot that out of the sky, guess what? You're going to be ending up down in Gitmo. Okay.
Yeah, if you make a mistake and the drone is doing a field survey and the camera isn't even pointed at you, depending on the cost of the drone, there could be some felony offenses and stuff like that associated with
exactly.
it. So it's not a good idea, but by all means, if you feel you're being followed or chased or whatever, alert the authorities.
That's the best thing you do. Yeah. Don't become a vigilante and try and take matters into your own hands, because the drone that you might be shooting down could be a federal drone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or it could be on a search and rescue mission.
That's
you
true.
never know.
That's right.
Okay? So just don't get high-headed. Don't pull out your air gun.
Right.
Don't pull out your shotgun.
Yeah, because I worry about that sometimes. Our search and rescue drone is often flying in areas that someone might not necessarily associate with one flying around. So, it doesn't take long to come up with some conspiracy theory as to why it's there.
Exactly.
So it may be doing something to help somebody else. So before people get carried away, have a little common sense, I guess, before you do
I say have a lot of common sense. And,
you only need a little.
Yeah.
A lot helps, but that's expensive.
It really does. But anyway, on a side, if you want to make a comment down below on this right here and give us your own opinions about it, you can. Again, don't be a troll. Have a little common sense when you go to write.
Common sense, right?
When you go to write a comment down below, and make it palatable for everybody to read, and don't be a jerk about it. If you do have an opinion against what we said and all this other stuff, put it in a polite way. You don't need to be nasty about it. But anyway.
Everybody has an opinion, and ours isn't always necessarily 100% correct.
Right. Or his isn't. But
I'll be happy to tell you if Jim's wrong at any point.
Anyway. If you have any other stories of your own that you want to touch base on too, that you've heard of where drones have followed people and things like that, please go ahead and write it down in the comment section down below. And again, we'll go ahead and research that too, because we can actually make a whole segment on drones and
Right.
and the drones in the news like
Drones in
that.
the news. Yeah,
So,
that's a good topic. You know,
yeah,
we could do something.
so we could do that, and feel free to go ahead and write that down in the comments as well.
Yeah.
If you'd like us to make a show on something that you think would be a hot topic, by all means, go ahead and write it down in the comments below, and we'll go ahead and see if we can put that on the air for you as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
But in the meantime, the next time we talk, next time we meet, we are going to have a table full of drones here for you guys to look at. Might even dissect one or two and see what happens.
Nice.
And then later on down the line, we're also going to be talking about racing drones, and we're also going to be, when is the Canduskeg canoe race going to be?
The Canduskeg canoe race is typically the third weekend in April.
Third weekend in April. Okay, so put that on your calendars as well. And if you'd like to join us at Maine All Terrain Search and Rescue, just to see what we do, if you want to see, if you want to get a taste of what we do and all that, feel free to join us for that. That address right there, and let us know. Yeah, it's right. No, it's over here.
Oh,
okay. And we'll go ahead and get back to you as soon as we can on what to do to join us at MATSAR. Maine All Terrain Search and Rescue, and we'd love to have you just to even come by as an observer. So,
Yep.
Anything else you'd like to say, sir?
I think I'm good for today.
All right, so am I. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jim Weston,
I'm Mike Watson.
and we are New England Drone Works. You have a great day.
Thanks.